Beautiful day at the port, right? Beautiful day at the port. I'm gonna plug my thing in. Hopefully get her charging. It's claiming that I don't have any room. But anyways, this is how we get out of here. Not too big of a deal actually, but yeah. Here's a lumber yard. I think this company actually owns the lumber yard as well. I'm pretty certain that they do. There's a crushed can up top there on the left. Looks like somebody got under a low bridge and stuffed it. Well, you know, there's pretty places in the city, and then there's places like these. These are not pretty places. And I mean, if you can appreciate what the city is, then you'll do okay. But the inner workings of the city, this is Newark, N-E-W-A-R-K, Newark, New Jersey. If you can appreciate the inner workings of a city, then this is okay. This is basically the jobs guy. Here's a dude. He's got a GoPro on his head. He's probably right now doing a vlog like me, only he's doing a different type of vlog. There's a bunch of electric bicycles around here. You gotta be careful when you make this right-hand turn, because they do park cars pretty close to that end, and you don't want to hit it. Then you get shit like this, double parking, freaking trucks on narrow streets, cars that just love to park really close to the freaking edge of the street. Oh my goodness. I don't want to hit anybody or anything, but just kind of wiggle your way down through these streets. And I'm going to stop here at the end. There's a homeless encampment right in front of us. Nice tent. Nice tent there. Nobody does or says anything about that. But that's their life. That's where they live. They will stay here all winter long. Sometimes they'll go to Florida. You can see them there. And when I get up here, I'm going to show you that we are so close. Oh, hold on. I don't want to really. I'm going to have to maybe unplug you. Hold on here. So I'm going to get over on the other side of this wall, and you'll see where I'm at in the world. If you don't know, there's what looks to be a power plant over there. But this is Newark Airport, Newark International, if you're going to fly out of there. But if you look right there, there's New York City. Zoom it in, that is the new Freedom Tower. Manhattan, South Manhattan. And uptown is to the left. Empire State. Oh, well, I like the new Combine too.
Yeah, that was messing around with Tim.
Yeah, you were messing around with Tim. So I had to actually go back on my videos, and it's really weird when you go back as many years as what I've been on YouTube. 13 to be exact, a little over 13 years to be exact. Like 13 and a half years to be exact. Go ahead, climb up there. 13 years ago, I was cleaning and bagging rye seed, and I wasn't sure. Ooh, you okay? No. Yeah, you are. You're still alive. I wasn't sure if of one part of the operation of the cleaning of the rye seed was accurate or not. Where's the seed tester? Oh, it's there, grain tester. Okay, there's my gloves. So anyway, it was really cool. If you go back on my videos, way back, to bagging rye seed or cleaning rye seed, those two videos, they were over 13 years ago. And let me tell you something, none of this was white. It was naturally a reddish color. Yeah. This guy wasn't even a glimmer in my eye. His sister and brothers were little. Grant was little. Corey and Sean were actually there, which is my cousins, my aunt Madeline's kids, and you know, both of them. She had 2 sons, has 2 sons, and yeah, there we go. Let's see. We're gonna go. We're gonna go. Cool. So it takes a little bit for this thing to warm up. I have that set to automatic. That is the automatic reel. These beans have a lot of green in them, so green wheat and chickweed, so it's going to take a little bit to get that through there. But this is the last of the soybeans I have to do. These 2 fields. This one here, maybe 4 acres left in it, and the one down below is a total of 8. So, Mr. William,
What?
this will be me and William will finish up the soybeans for the year, right?
Yep.
And that'll be that. So, what I'll do is everything's running, and we'll hit the R button, which is the return, and yeah, hopefully it all goes the way I want it to. And believe it or not, these beans are actually yielding pretty incredible. Pretty incredible. Tim doesn't like going this fast. I'm a little bit, he's used to the TR, so he wants to go like 4 mile an hour or 2 mile an hour. I'm really happy to go as fast as I possibly can. A little bit of green wheat in there, it'll feed and actually cause it to harvest a little better, shell it out a little better. Not that it has a problem shelling it out anywhere, or hulling it out, or stripping it out of the pods. It does a really good job, but I don't like running green anything through the combine. I really don't. I absolutely hate it. But yeah. So for Travis Eby is Northeast Ohio farmer. He just lost his grandmother, so keep your thoughts and prayers about him. You know, he's going through a bit of a rough time, but he had commented that I will need to shorten my dividers on this. He has a case combine, and that case combine is an older model than what this New Holland is. Yes, Case and New Holland are the same company, just for those that don't believe it. It's true. They are the same company, and they use the same heads. They just changed the color of the paint. His is an older model. He had a 1020 model header. I think this would be like a 2020 model header if it was in the Case colors. So his is a little bit older, and I just don't see the issues, or I don't see what he was talking about. I don't have a problem with those long dividers or those dividers being too short. But anyway, you can see the beans coming in back there. I suspect when I get down to the other parts of the field it'll be a lot better, but you know, down there it's going to be really, really good. Up here we had a lot of deer pressure. My Penergetic BWV worked really, really good, except around buildings. The deer will go to where people are, believe it or not. I'm going to go ahead and tilt that the other way. They will go to where people are instead of going to where it's secluded. A secluded areas where the deer used to hammer you, and there's a lot more secluded areas on my fields than there is the populated areas. Over there at the roadway over there, that causes that was really tough because the deer were right along the road, because it's not secluded. It's where people walk up and down the road, and cars go up and down the road, and oh yeah. All right, well, I don't think Timothy actually changed the computer settings for this farm, so he's not. Oh, you know what that was, don't you?
Rock.
That was a rock. Stone detected. So what we do in a rock trap situation is we push that button. Feeder house is now in reverse, and then we push that one. Oh my goodness. Sometimes it just does not want to do what it's supposed to do. So you have to kind of do that again. I was hoping that it would do it, but there it goes. So you run that backwards a little bit, and that cleans the stone trap from having any debris into it. And then pick it all the way up, stone trap's closed. You hit this guy, and it's going to jolt to life, I think. Yeah. Going to jolt back to life, and if we got everything correct, the stone trap will stay closed, and we'll be back in business again. So there it goes. Eastern Shore Farmer was talking about the speed of his reel being, he likes it in manual, then he sets the speed himself. I kind of like automatic. I can set the speed in the automatic. I can slow it down by pushing that button, or speed it up by pushing the plus button. And I just kind of want that reel to, and it's very accurate with the ground speed versus the, you know, it keeps the ground speed quite well. This field is a very stony field, so yeah. But these beans, these were planted. Teresa planted the final amount of soybeans that went in, and these were planted, I believe, on the 17th of July. I shouldn't have did it. I shouldn't have done it, but I'm glad that I did. I'm glad that I did because I'm actually getting something. And when you're selling beans for over $13.50 a bushel, then every bushel, you know, it makes the ground worth a lot more. And I was kind of happy. Plus the wheat that's there. There's sunflowers over there. I got to get them too. But the wheat that's here is going to become the cover crop, or it is the cover crop that's feeding the soil, building organic matter and soil health. And next year when I put the corn in here, I will feed the cover crop. And I'm seriously considering getting a strip till machine to put fertilizer in the soil below the seed. Just not your average fertilizer, an organic fertilizer below that corn seed. And then obviously I would just use nitrogen. It is a biological fertilizer, and it works phenomenal to increase the biological activity in the soil, and that's what I'm trying to accomplish on all the acres that I farm, is to make the soil productive and cheaper to produce a row crop. If you can, said there was no SD card, but there is an SD card. All right, so we completed the soybeans for the year. Home farm here, I didn't have soybeans on those three, well, there's 3 fields over there. It's all one big field, but it's 1, 2, 3 sections. I had wheat in that, then I turned it to sunflowers. I will be harvesting those. We had 44.8 acres of soybeans planted on the 17th, between the 15th and the 16th. It was the 15th and the 16th of July. We got 1,695 bushels off the home farm. We averaged 38 bushels. Now, we had an average over all the acreage of wheat of 61 bushels, and I just pulled 38 bushels to the acre off of this 44, just say 45 acres here. And I'm ecstatic. I didn't expect to get 30 bushel. My father's going to be rather shocked as well, because he's like, oh, these are 25 bushel beans. You're not going to get anything more than 25 bushels to the acre off of this farm. Well, he was wrong. He was wrong, because we got 38. It's pretty close to 40. And this thing has been quite accurate to what I've sold. So I'm pretty happy with that. We're probably going to average somewhere around 45, 48 bushels. I'll do the math later and tell you exactly how many bushels we got per the acre. No, I'm not doing zombies because it's attached to my ears and I'll hear them. So the beans are done. We got somewhere around 8,000 bushels. Actually a little over 8,000 bushels, because we got over 8,000 bushels. I guess I could do the math, but somebody's calling. Your mom is. Go ahead. There you go, dude. Here. Get that. Where is she? There she is. Here. I told you she was in the shower. Anyway. Yeah, he called. He wanted to see him. Oh, that's good, Mom.
Am I gonna see the hawk?
So anyways, we're done. Oh, he wants to see the hawk. Yeah, so we're finished. Yay, completion. On to corn. Still got over 600 acres of corn to do, so whew, that's it. We're done, dear. We finished beans just now. Where are we going? To deliver soybeans. You know where we're going. Going to deliver a load of soybeans to the port. I didn't do a very good job of documenting the last load. Dad was there. Dad came with me last load, so I had company, and William got to stay home and play. What were you doing? Grinding acorns?
Yeah.
Grinding acorns. So it's funny, when I was a kid, and I remember it because I wanted the damn thing so bad, my Aunt Ella used to go to yard sales every Saturday and Sunday. If there was yard sales, my Aunt Ella was going, you know. So she went to yard sale, and there was this hand crank grinder thing for, like, I mean, it didn't matter what you put in there, it ground it up. You threw an apple in there, it ground it up. You threw a cucumber in there, it ground it up. Carrots, potatoes, you named it, it ground it up. And she got me this thing. She paid like a nickel for it, you know, or whatever. And it was a toy. It became a toy for me to play with, as I was maybe a little bit older than William. He's 5, so I might have been 6 or 7, maybe. Anyways, I played with this thing, and I ground up everything. I was grinding tree limbs. I was just grinding it. It was this little hand crank. Well, when I left my Aunt Ella's, because we would go for 2 or 3 days, we get picked, you know, they would pick us up on a Wednesday and drop us off on a Saturday. Sometimes it would be a Monday, but we loved Aunt Ella and Uncle Irv. It was a great place. They never had children or anything, so it was good for them as well. So anyways, I had this little grinder thing, and I ground everything. And then when it came time to go home, I forgot it. I know right where I forgot it. It was right on the edge of the garage porch. And I was like, oh no, I forgot my grinder. And my mom was like, we're not going back, you know. Typical baby boomer Gen X response. There's baby boomers' response to a Gen X. We're not going back for it. You can get it next time. Well, the next Wednesday when my Uncle Irv came by, I asked him about it, and he said, oh, I don't know where it's at. And Aunt Ella didn't come until the next Saturday. Oh, I don't know. I didn't see it. So I think they realized that this thing was kind of dangerous. If I'd have stuck my hands in there, I might have ground my arm to a stump or something. But anyway, I never did get the vegetable grinder thing. I mean, this thing was violent. It had like claws that would go past through these 2 slots. It just basically pureed everything into a glass container on the bottom. It was cool. I've looked for one on eBay just because I'm retarded and I want one because I had it when I was 7. But anyway, so he's over there and he takes his bicycle and he sticks acorns in the chain guard. Chain guards today ain't like they were when I was a kid. Chain guard when I was a kid was metal, and it would rattle and carry on. These are plastic, and I'm afraid he's going to break the plastic. But you get to grind up the acorns, right? All your acorns get ground up well?
Yep.
Yeah. And then the squirrels come and eat them? Or does Pepper come and eat them? Oh, okay. So anyway, so that's my story for today, and now we're on our way to drop off. This is the 7th load of soybeans I'm taking in there, and I'll be happy. So yeah, beans actually did really well. Tim's probably going to go slice off the last 12 acres of beans, and if that's the case, then I'll have my last load for Monday, and that'll be all right, because you know what? It's okay. It's all right. It's exactly what I expected when I started, that I would have something around eight loads of soybeans, and that's what I'm going to have. Yeah. A couple of these loads I went in there with over 1,000 bushel, but Steve definitely went in with over 1,000, you know, almost 1,100. But yeah. Anyway, I'm going to shut up now, and that's where I met Teresa. For all you people that didn't know, I met Teresa there in 2009, like June of 2009. Okay, we're back to picking corn again, or shelling corn, or whatever you want to call it. This pH on this soil is pathetic. This is where my grandfather was raised, this farm here. He moved off the farm in the 1940s, and yeah, moved off the farm in the 1940s, maybe the 30s, late 1930s. Anyway, he bought a farm not far from here in Stanton, and then another farm in Lambertville later. And then in 1955, he bought the farm that I'm purchasing up there in Alexandria Township. So the look at that stuff. Yeah, it's doing quite well. I could do that. The corn is doing pretty good. It's dry. I will not have to dry this corn. There's just no need to dry it. Timothy and Grant have been attempting to keep up to me with no avail. This machine is a monster. When you get into good corn, good dry corn, and it just, I got a truck that's sitting over there right now that is full to the rim, and they were both came down with wagons, and they're not going to be able to catch up to me. So with that being done or said or whatever you want to call it, it's just the way the cookie crumbles, right? You know, you have good corn, you have bad corn, and then you have phenomenal corn. But this is okay corn, nothing special. It's 150 to 180. The pH on this is terrible. The reason I did not put lime on it this spring was because it was in limbo whether this property was going to either be I would still have the property or not. I was a little worried about it, but the new owner is my cousin, and she seems pretty good. Looks like things are going to go okay. I won't have to worry about, you know, putting down lime and then next year not having the property. It's looking like we're going to have a pretty okay relationship there, and my combine is almost full, so by the time I get down and back one more time, we'll be where I want to be. Oh yeah, I had a visitor today, John Pavlika, a longtime friend of mine. He used to grain farm years ago, and he came down with his son, and his son is, you know, his son came down and he rode along with me. John, I guess it would be John Jr. Or the third. Would it be the third? I guess it would be the third, John the third. And so they rode around with me a little bit, and John Jr. or Senior, the old man, he's like, my friend, he's like, oh, wow. He said, you don't look like you're going very fast, but then you realize that you're actually moving right along. How fast you going? I was like, well, about 4.5 miles an hour. I could go faster, but I don't. It's just no point in it. It's a lot to take care of. When you go too fast, you start throwing shit out the back if you're not careful. And this is running somewheres in that 150, 160 range, 140, 150, 160 range, you know, in there. Like I said, the pH is bad, and unless you don't get the pH, if you don't get the pH up, the ground won't perform. So this winter I'm going to be putting about 2 tons of lime to the acre for next year's crop. Whether it's corn or soybeans, I haven't decided yet. It'll probably be corn one more year, and then I will go ahead and put soybeans in on it the following year after that, because soybeans are a bit of a calcium whore. They like calcium, and they like a better pH than what corn does. So you kind of gotta go roll with the punches and do the best you can with what you got. And that's what I'm doing. So what I'll do here is I'll look at the performance of this here. We'll look at the profile. We are in field 2. We are going to go to field 2. We are looking at 130 bushel, which is right. That's about right, 130 bushels. So for what this went through, severe drought, again, low pH, goose pressure from that stinking pond that's right there, poor fertility, I probably shouldn't have put corn in here, but you know what, I did. And there are spots that are better than this. The next two fields over are quite phenomenal. They'll be up in the 170, 180 range, I'm sure. At least that's where the yield checks came in at. I did not show that online because there was no point, because nobody believes you anyway, and they're unbelievable at times. So there it is. It's saying my grain bin's full. I'm going to go ahead and go down and back one more time, and then I guess we'll call it a night because my truck is full. And when I say my truck is full, I mean that truck is full. Yep, that's it. Oh. Anyway, with that being said, I'll be on to the next part of my video, whatever that is, probably unloading this damn thing.